We've all got that one person on our teams, the one that's always got you replaying the conversations with them over and over, wondering what went wrong. Maybe they resist every change, or they spread gossip, or they're super aggressive, or checked out and acting like they just don't care. Whatever it looks like. Dealing with difficult employees is one of the hardest parts of being a manager. And if you ignore it, it'll spread through your entire team, organization even, until your whole culture rots. I'm Adam, and I've been managing high-performing teams for over 17 years. And today, we're going to talk about the four most common types of difficult employees and how to deal with them. I'll give you the step-by-step approaches that actually work, the words that you can say, and in case things heat up a bit, a simple conflict resolution framework. Now, before we talk about difficult employees, we need to talk about how you think about them. The label difficult employee is a trap, and it's hurting your reputation as a manager. I see a lot of managers slap on that label and think they've solved the problem. They have not. Saying an employee is toxic or lazy is like saying that your car is broken without popping the hood. You may have described the situation, but you're nowhere near understanding the cause. You need to shift your focus to their behavior, because behavior can be seen and it can be measured and it can be changed. When you start talking about a person's behavior and not the person themselves, the conversation becomes a lot less personal and a lot more manageable. So unless your goal is to make the problem worse, don't call people names. Describe their actions and give them examples. Now, let's walk through the four most common difficult behaviors and what to do in each case. If you've ever managed people, you'll definitely recognize the first one, resistance to change. You've probably experienced this. You go to announce a new change, and someone on your team immediately folds their arms and says,
But we've always done it this other way.
Usually, resistance is a response to fear. Fear of losing control, fear of looking incompetent, fear of uncertainty, or if they see the change as a threat to who they are at work, fear of losing identity. Here's how to handle it. Step 1. Validate how they're feeling. Don't try to force the change, and don't respond with sarcasm. Try this. I can see why this feels disruptive, but what are the specific problems that you're seeing that I might have missed? That simple question does two things. 1, it temporarily relieves pressure, and 2, it starts getting you more information. Remember, people resist because they're worried, so let them explain it to you. Step 2, explore the old way. Try asking them this. Okay, let's talk about the old way for a second. What was working with that, and what wasn't? This question helps you uncover practical reasons for their pushback, but it also helps you slowly tease out hidden friction in the old system. Step 3, explain the why behind the change clearly. And don't use talking points. Focus on the issues that they brought up in step 2. Try saying this. Here's why we think we have to change this. And here's how this is going to help improve on those problems that you had with the old way. And here's how we're going to deal with the concerns that you brought up about the new way. Step 4, give agency. Invite them to shape how the change is implemented. Remember, people resist change when they feel powerless. So if they can have more influence on the rollout, they'll have more buy-in. If you follow these steps, you can turn resistors into non-obstacles, or even allies. Next, we need to talk about negativity, which can be a tough one because of how fast it spreads. You can't ignore it, so here's how to deal with it. This is your typical yeah, but person, the kind of person that has an objection for every idea. It's also the people who spread rumors and gossip in the background. Negativity comes from frustration or feeling unheard, and gossip is a mostly normal social thing and usually not that bad, unless it mixes with negativity, and then it becomes kind of like a super spreader. Here's how you need to respond. Step 1, acknowledge and paraphrase. Don't try to shut negativity down. That just drives it into the waiting arms of gossip. Thank them for their perspective and then paraphrase it back. Say something like this. Thanks for your perspective. Now, let me make sure I have this right. You're worried about X because of Y and Z, is that correct? Continue asking clarifying questions and paraphrasing until you get something that sounds like, that's right. Step 2, refocus on solutions. Try saying this. Okay, so given the concerns you raised, what do you think our best options are for dealing with this? Then I want you to take a long pause. And I mean it. Your silence forces them to either offer solutions or sit there stewing in their complaint. This helps you set a clear boundary. If you're going to bring me problems, be prepared to bring me solutions. If all they can offer is an I don't know, don't jump in and rescue them. Try this instead. It's a complex problem, so if you need more time to think about it, I completely understand. Let's meet again in 5 days and you can bring me your solutions. Feel free to talk to the team if you need help. That sentence does two things. It models a consequence for unhelpful negativity, and it sets a clear expectation. Complaints without solutions are not useful. And step 3, handle gossip by shining a light on it. If rumors are going around about a specific issue, call it out publicly in a meeting. I've been hearing rumors that people are worried about X. Let's talk about it. That removes the alluring secretiveness and it forces people to confront the issue. There is one catch though. If you're dealing with gossip that targets a specific person, you're probably going to want to talk to the gossiper in private. Highlight their behavior with specific examples, show them how it's impacting the team, and work with them on finding next steps so that they can curb the behavior. Next, aggression. This is something you need to shut down immediately because of how quickly it turns a workplace toxic. Aggressive behavior is everything from inconsiderate rudeness, like constant interruptions, to intimidation and emotional outbursts. It's the fastest way to destroy psychological safety, and there's really no place for it at work, which is why you need to act accordingly. Here's how to handle aggressive behavior. Step 1, keep your cool. Don't raise your voice. Matching their aggression only fuels it. Step 2, name the behavior and the emotion. Try something like this. Your tone feels very aggressive. It sounds like you're angry about this. Would you like to take a moment to compose yourself? This does 2 things. It calls out the unwanted behavior, but it also gives them an exit to save face. Step 3, if they try to keep going, calmly and firmly close the conversation. It feels like you're having a hard time staying calm right now, and I won't talk to you in this state. Take some time to calm down and we can talk when you're ready. If they refuse to calm down, then end the meeting and document what happened. If their aggressive behavior continues, then it might be time to move into a formal performance management process. Link in the cards for my thoughts on performance management. And for our 4th behavior, we come to the opposite of aggression, which is silence. Sometimes difficult employees aren't loud or obnoxious. They miss deadlines, or they don't contribute during meetings, or they feel like they've checked out. That often signals a lack of clarity, feeling undervalued, or worse, burnout. Here's how to tackle their disengagement. Step 1, meet privately and be specific. Don't just say, "Oh, you seem off today." Say this: "You've seemed distant lately, and your last 2 reports were late. Help me understand what's going on here." Step 2, ask clarifying questions. Don't assume anything. Start with this: "What's changed for you? Do you have the tools and resources you need? Are your priorities clear? Do you feel heard on the team?" Step 3, I recommend using my DRIVE framework here because it's the fastest way to diagnose the root cause. DRIVE stands for direction. Do they understand the priorities in the bigger picture? Resources. Do they have the tools, time, training, and authority? Input. Do they feel heard when it matters? Visibility. Do others recognize their contributions? And engagement. Do they feel connected to the team and the mission? Work through each of those 5 areas with your employee. You'll usually find the problem in one or more of them. Then co-create solutions. Maybe they need clearer priorities. Maybe they need access to more resources. Maybe they need a different project that connects them better to purpose. Co-create the solutions and then continue following up with them. If you want to better understand my DRIVE framework, I've created a free PDF that you can download and start using today. You can grab it now, there's a link in the description. Seriously, pause the video, grab the guide, and come back. If you want to change difficult behavior for good, DRIVE is the fastest way to get to the root cause. Okay, so now that we understand all the behaviors, we need to talk more about your role in all this. Difficult behavior doesn't exist in a vacuum, and how you respond to it matters a lot more than you think. If you want to do it right, you need to avoid these 3 mistakes. Mistake 1, conflict avoidance. If you try to avoid conflict because it's uncomfortable, the problem will just get worse. The cost of not acting is way higher than the cost of a tough conversation. And that's a lesson you don't want to learn by doing. Mistake number 2, treating symptoms instead of causes. Making posters for the break room or giving a pep talk might feel like a solution, but it's just a band-aid. Always find the cause and deal with it, and be prepared to look at systems on top of behaviors. That's something that a lot of managers miss. Mistake number 3, taking things personally. People are going to push your buttons, but don't let it derail you. Try to think that this isn't about you. It's about dealing with the issues and the facts. Think of yourself like a thermostat. When the temperature changes, the thermostat notices and it adjusts the HVAC system to bring everything back into balance. It doesn't get upset about having to make the change. It doesn't hold a luncheon about putting on a sweater. You need to act the same way. Now, if you're still worried about conflict, here's a simple 5-step framework to fall back on in case things get messy. 1, gather information. Hear out all sides before making a decision. Don't jump to conclusions. 2, clarify expectations. Spell out what's acceptable and what isn't, and be clear on boundaries. 3, agree on a plan of action. Be specific about who's going to do what and when, and treat those commitments like promises. 4, follow up consistently. Accountability is the bridge between words and action. 5, document the process. Having good documentation protects you, your employee, and the organization. Documentation keeps everyone honest, and it creates a record if further steps are needed. You don't need a PhD in conflict resolution. You just need some consistency and discipline. Handling difficult employees is hard. It's one of the hardest parts about being a manager. But there's also a lot of opportunity there. When you stop labeling people and start addressing their behaviors, you strengthen trust, clarity, and culture. If you want a practical place to start, remember my free DRIVE guide is linked in the description. And if you'd like to hear how I fix underperforming employees without having to fire them, you'll want to check out this next video. I'll walk you through a 5-step process that gets your underperformers back on track.